there, it's Marley. Welcome to my booktube channel. Today we're starting a new reading vlog where I'm going to be reading the shortest books on my TBR. The main reason I wanted to do this type of vlog is because I had been a little bit behind my reading goal throughout the year and like my Goodreads goal. I think right now I'm about one book behind, which is not too bad, but it is getting close to the end of the year. So I think I could really use reading a few shorter books to sort of catch up on my books read. So first of all, we have to figure out which books I'm going to read. So we're going to head over to Goodreads and sort my want to read based on page number and look at the shortest ones. So let me set up a screen recording here. So the first thing I see, I did take a sneak peek at this, not gonna lie, but the first thing I see is this book, Sugar High, The Unexpected Journey of an Inexperienced Type 1 Diabetic by Alexandra Park. And the reason I put this on my TBR is because I have type 1 diabetes, and when I saw this actress put this book out, you know, I was kind of interested in reading about her experience. But the reason this is showing up as the least amount of pages is that Goodreads doesn't have the pages displayed. Like in the info, it's nowhere to be seen. So this one is actually not a real shortest book, I'm sad to say. Next up we have Carmilla by Sheridan Fanu. The reason I was interested in reading this, it is a classic and it is kind of like about the original Dracula, or like the female Dracula. So before Dracula, there was Carmilla, the first seductive vampire to haunt readers' imaginations. So I read Dracula a couple years ago. I liked it. I read Frankenstein, loved it. And I just do think that Gothic classics are more of my thing than your typical classic. So I think there's a chance that I could like this. For this edition that is on my want to read, it is 74 pages. Apparently for the Kindle edition, which I probably will read that edition. So I think this will be our first book. Then we have, of course, the famous Ali Hazelwood STEMinist novellas. So I've read Ali Hazelwood's full novels, but I have not read her novellas yet. So we have Under One Roof, which is the first one in that set of novellas. So I definitely like to check this out. You may have seen recently, I did report I have some beef with Ali Hazelwood. You can go check out my wrap up from last month if you want to see that, or from September. But I do still want to read her novellas. So basically they're romances surrounding women in STEM, just like her regular novels have been. I don't know the specific tropes or like plots of each one, but as you can see, the next ones on this list are the second and third one. But I'm not gonna just read only Ali Hazelwood novellas for this vlog. So I think I'm just gonna read the first one and then we'll move on down the list. So then we have She and Her Cat Stories by Makoto Shinkai. I think I must have put this on my TBR just when I saw someone mention it because I love cats. So this Japanese bestseller from renowned anime director features 4 inspirational and heartwarming vignettes following women and their cats in their quest for love and connection. So I feel like I would like this. I feel like I would connect with this as a fellow cat owner. So that one should be cute. So that's number 3. Then we have Escape Room by Maren Stoffels. I feel like I heard this mentioned once and added it to my TBR, but I'm kind of regretting doing that because I just feel like this has not a very great like rating, and I don't know. Basically, it's a young adult thriller about an escape room, and I actually love doing escape rooms in my real life. I think that's why I was interested in this. So we'll see. Alyssa, Sky, Miles, and Mint are ready for a night of fun at the escape room. It's simple. Choose their game, get locked in a room, find the clues, solve the puzzle, and escape in 60 minutes. But what happens if the game master has no intention of letting them go? Maybe this will surprise us. Like, maybe. Okay, so that's 4. Next on the list is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell, which is a graphic novel, and I don't own this. I kind of want to skip this because I feel like I might like buy it one day, but that's not today. So I kind of want to cheat and use a skip for this. I don't know about reading a graphic novel like on my e-reader. So, okay, stay tuned. If I get a hold of that, I'll read that. But otherwise, we do have The Arrangement by Kiersten, Modglin, which is kind of interesting to me because it's a thriller and I love that. I love those. I can't quite remember what people have said about this one or why I added it to my TBR. Is this like one of the TikTok trending thrillers, perhaps? Oh, it's this one. Okay. So it's about this couple that's married, and I guess things are not going the best. So to fix it, they come up with this arrangement, which is that they will each date someone new once a week, but they will never discuss what happens on those dates. So I guess just to spice things up a little bit, but then it says, you know, someone breaks the rules, there's some dark secrets. So it's giving domestic thriller. There's gonna be obviously like, well, I guess consenting cheating. So I guess it's not cheating, but who knows where this one will go. But I think maybe I'll keep this one. And this is at 220 pages. I didn't look at the other pages for the other books. Sorry about that. But I think those are going to be my 5 books to read, 5 of the shortest books on my TBR. So I'm filming this a little bit in advance so I can get my hands on those books. But I'll see you back here when I have started reading. Hey guys. Sorry, my throat is a bit sore, but kind of exciting. I have been reading Escape Room, but I've actually been listening to the audiobook because that's all my library had for some reason. And if you've been following me for a while, you probably know I don't listen to audiobooks. I've listened to maybe 2 in my life, and I just didn't particularly enjoy it. I didn't feel like my retention was very good, so I just kind of avoid audiobooks. But since this was all my library had, I am attempting to listen to Escape Room via audiobook, and it is a full cast audiobook, which that's the first one that I've ever listened to. The other 2 I did before didn't have that. I'm seeing why people would enjoy this. I'm seeing why so many people enjoy audiobooks and full cast ones, especially because I'm already halfway through and I just started it earlier today. I was listening while I was working, only when doing really mindless work, and even then I do feel like I'll miss the odd sentence here or there, so that's not my favorite. I really like to grasp every single sentence because there's a few things I'm like, I feel like I could be missing things, but I am coming around to it. I'm starting to see the appeal of audiobooks a little bit with this. So that is exciting. And I'm even just having more reactions because I feel like when you hear it, it's almost more shocking because you're not seeing it on the page kind of ahead of time. You're just hearing it, and I don't know, it is an interesting experience. I think, maybe I'll listen to more audiobooks after this because I think it's something where you have to kind of get adjusted to it. But anyways, this is a YA thriller. So we are following, I think we have 4 different points of views of these different teenagers in this friend group. And then we do have a 5th point of view of the evil person who we're not given a name for. They just call it X. And so that's why I think it's really good that it's a full cast narration because of these different point of views, and it's constantly changing between them. So it's really good to have those different voices. But basically, we're getting a bunch of background at first just on their relationships and the different characters. We have our main character, Mint, who's kind of a weirdo, kind of. She doesn't quite fit in. She's very quiet and stuff. There's also a weird, almost supernatural thing, which I won't get into, but it's relating to Mint. So I'm interested to see where that will go. Then we have the other girl named Alyssa, who again is kind of that trope of the really pretty beautiful girl that all the boys like, but she has some trauma with her family, with her dad. And then we have the boys, I forget the one guy's name, but he has a crush on Alyssa, but it's unrequited, so that's his main deal. And then we have Miles, who's the new guy in the group. He's kind of mysterious, and him and Alyssa instantly have this romance and hang out once and are kissing and just having this deep connection because he's the other one that has some trauma in his past, which is being more mysterious. We don't exactly know I think his dad died. I think we know that, but there's a little bit more of a mystery to that. And basically all these people end up going to an escape room together. We see that the villainous character that we're getting these POVs from is there and is running the escape room and then ends up trapping them in there. And so we've started to see them trying to escape, and they figured out that they're kind of getting locked in and they don't know why. From X's point of view, we know they're mainly targeting one of these people. They want revenge on them for some reason. So it's kind of a mystery of which of those 4 people are they trying to get revenge on. I think it could be kind of any of them. Again, that guy with the mysterious past is obviously a main suspect, but also that weird supernatural thing going on with Mint could also be something. It is definitely very cringy, and I almost feel listening to it makes it more cringy just hearing the narrator say some of these lines. The 2 people that are really hot, the 2 that have the romance, they talk about how it's so sad that they always get judged by how they look. Miles is people just see a pretty face and assume I'm cocky and like assume I get all the girls, but like it's not true. And there's a lot of other cringy lines as well, but you know what? It just comes with the territory reading YA, and honestly it just makes it funny, especially hearing these adults like narrate it. So that is my halfway update for Escape Room. Hey vlog. So I am back just a short while later because I have finished Escape Room. It was definitely nice to keep listening to it as I worked, as I walked. I've been avoiding walking since I've been sick, but sometimes you just need to like get fresh air, you know? Anyways, I was getting a little bit distracted. Like, that's what I'm saying. I would have to get used to listening to audiobooks more because I was getting a little bit distracted. I think ending this, I'm going to give it 3 stars. The kind of main reveal of like who was tormenting them and why, I wasn't really impressed with it. And I feel like this can be common, you know, reading YA thrillers because they're for younger audiences and people who don't read as many thrillers and haven't seen as many twists. So it's not shocking that I wasn't shocked, or I didn't think it was that like interesting. So gotta, you know, knock down the rating a little bit for that, knock it down a little bit for those cringy YA things, but I still do think it was quick and it was fun. And as I said, I had a good time with the audiobook. I would recommend doing that route if you read it. It just wasn't anything special. It was just very average, which is honestly what I expected going into this book. So not surprised about that. Now though, I think I'll just hop right into my next book. So I think the next one I'm gonna do is Her and Her Cats. I am in the mood to do nothing, so I feel like a nice cozy book like that would be good, especially all these like thrillers and disturbing books that I've been reading lately coming out of Halloween and how I read all those horror books last month. So that is what I think I'm gonna do next. Oh my gosh, it's me again. Hours later. I guess I should have known with these short books I would just be reading them like so quick. Like almost all in one day. No, but I got halfway through She and Her Cat. So I've read 2 of the 4 short stories, and they actually are kind of all connected, or at least the first 2 were. So in the first one, we are seeing from the point of view of this girl, and then we also see the point of view of her cat. And this is translated from Japanese as well, so it takes place in Japan. But it's just so cute seeing from the cat's point of view and like what they're thinking. And obviously, it's just the author's interpretation of what cats would be thinking about and what they would be doing. But then I just look at my cat Peach and I'm like, oh, like what is she thinking, you know? And I'm like, oh, does she love us? Like, does she think about how much she loves us? I don't know. It's just a cute concept and cute thing to read about. And like the main character, she's going through some like turmoil within her personal life. And then in the second one, we're following this kitten. She is living on the streets, but she does have this person that she visits and that feeds her, and then we're seeing that girl's life. I was scared it was gonna get sad for a minute there, but then it wasn't. They're more like heartwarming with some like serious stuff going on there as well. Not too much to say about this one, to be honest. I was feeling a little bit bored reading it. I think maybe this would be better to read like over time rather than how I'm doing it, of just like sitting and reading the stories back to back, which I'll probably do. I'll probably keep doing. I'll probably just finish it tonight. So you'll probably see me again, same day, same shirt. It's definitely going to help me get ahead on my reading schedule doing this vlog.
This is a world like no other, strewn across vast seas.
Starting One Piece. This is for you, Allie. Good morning, vlog. It is the next morning. Honestly, feeling worse this morning, so that's fun. But yeah, I did finish She and Her Cat last night. I just didn't feel like updating again. You know, it was cute. It was very sweet, very beautiful. The next 2 stories were also in that same neighborhood, so there were still all connected. You know, we were able to see the other cats in all of the stories and all the neighbors, and it was really nice. And I would give it 4 stars. It just was like so short that, I don't know, it's not 5 stars, but I did enjoy it, and I think I would recommend it if you're into like slice of life stories and like cute heartwarming stuff. And obviously if you're into cats, if you're a cat lover, you could check it out. It's a very quick, nice read, not a lot to say about it. So today is Friday, so I think I could easily probably read 2 more books today, since I'll be staying up later today and Dakota's working tonight, so I'll be lonely. So definitely lots of time to read. So I guess that is the plan. I'm back with another update. So guess what I've been doing? Listening to another audiobook. Who is she? Honestly, we had the situation again where my library had the audiobook available for The Arrangement by Kiersten Modglin. So I was like, you know what? Let me listen to this again while I work, and I'm already halfway through listening to it just this morning while I worked. I'm getting quite into audiobooks now, but here's the thing, like, I love that it's making me read more. The fact that I'm already halfway through another book from listening, I see why you people out there who listen to audiobooks read so much more than me. I feel like I would honestly like double my reading if I kept listening to audiobooks, but that's normally my time to watch booktube videos, so I feel like I would just get even more behind on booktube videos because I'm already a month behind my subscriptions. So I don't know if I will keep doing this. I'm a little bit conflicted, but this is again a full cast audiobook. I guess there's a narrator for each point of view of the characters. So yeah, The Arrangement. So we're following Ainsley and Peter. They both get points of views in this, and they are married. They've been married for years. They have 3 kids. We know that things are not going well in their marriage. They don't really say specifics of that, but they have come up with this arrangement before the start of the book where they are going to date other people once a week, sleep with them basically, and they're not going to talk about it to each other. They're going to keep it all a secret. But it's okay, my tripod keeps falling. Sorry. This is supposed to like spice things up, I guess cause jealousy in the relationship. So for most of this first half of the book, it was a little bit boring. I'm not gonna lie. It was like, where's the thriller side of this book? Like, it really was just about them and their feelings about their marriage, and both of them kind of not looking forward to doing this. Especially Peter was not really... Sorry, I just had a work call, so I forget what I was saying. But yeah, I didn't find much was happening in the first half. We just saw like the first week of them going out with their first like dates and hearing about their lives and blah blah blah. Like, it was kind of mundane. But now, right as I was hitting the 50% mark, something exciting did happen. So now I'm interested to see like where it goes. There's no way for me to have any like theories or anything. There's not really like a mystery or anything right now either. So I don't know. People say that it's very twisty at the end, so I'm guessing maybe from here on out there's going to be a lot of twists and a lot of action. But the first half was not too exciting. So I guess that's all for now. Oh my gosh, guys, what a roller coaster today has been for my blood sugars and for this book. I continued to listen to the audiobook while I worked out. Even though I'm sick, I decided to work out because my blood sugars went super high after lunch. I think there's something wrong with my current insulin pod site because they keep going super high. So I worked out and I gave a correction bolus. That was too much because then my blood sugars went low. And so now I just finished eating and having some juice to correct that. But anyways, I continued to listen to the book throughout all that and I finished it. Kiersten was really waiting for the second half to deliver all those twists. Like I said, the first half, pretty straightforward. The second half, and especially the last little bit, was like so many twists that it was almost like, I almost want to say too many. Like, and I never say that. Like, I love Alice Feeney, who puts a lot of twists in, but this was almost too much. I'm still kind of like wrapping my head around all of it. I think I liked it though. I do think I'm someone who, as I said, likes a lot of twists, but it was like crazy the amount of just like back and forth that we kind of had at the end. Some of it was predictable, like going into this knowing it's a twisty thriller, you're just kind of looking for what the twist could be. So I did kind of predict some of them and I wasn't like shocked, and then some I was like, okay, wow, like this is really coming out of left field here. So I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I think for most of it I was leaning towards 3.5, but I think just kind of the very last bit is gonna push it up to a 4. I do appreciate the work that goes into adding all these twists. I do like it. As for the writing, I don't know how people, it's hard to talk about the writing when I'm listening to the audiobook. I don't know, like it's just such a different experience. I know I'm talking so much about the audiobook experience, but it's because I don't ever listen to them. I guess it was quick to read. Like obviously it's easy to listen to when you're just sitting there and listening. I guess that means it's probably like an easy to read, quick book. Obviously it's short as well. So yeah, overall I liked it. I see why this is like a little popcorn thriller. It's not gonna like blow you away. It is very much dealing with a lot of those domestic things, cheating, affairs, stuff like that. But it's definitely a fun time. I would consider reading more from the author. I know this is a series, apparently. I don't know if I'm particularly interested in continuing with this specific series. Maybe I would have to look at other people's opinions on that if it's worth it. But yeah, so 3 books down and it's been like a day and a half. So I think I'll just keep this train going and maybe we'll keep going back and forth between the dark and the light books. So maybe I'll read the romance next under one roof. Alright, readers, here with an update. I am about halfway through Under One Roof by Hazelwood. I am watching Reading Sprints right now by Paige from the PM Reader. Shout out to her, love her videos. I like never watch Reading Sprints, fun fact about me. I feel like I always see them and I intend to join or like live shows and stuff, and then I just like totally forget. Or I'll hit that little like notify me bell and it like never notifies me. Relatable for anyone? Or like when I do remember to join, I feel like I stay for like the beginning intro where the host talks and then I like leave during the first sprint because I don't know, I'm very like disciplined, so I don't technically like need reading sprints to be productive. I kind of like force myself to. I'm trying to participate more, which is why I'm watching this. But anyways, so I've been reading Under One Roof. It is a romance and we are following our main character Mara, who is a redhead. Oh, remind you of anyone? Marley the redhead? No. Oh, I think the sprint's ending right when I'm doing this update. Okay, I'll come back in the next sprint. Okay, it is the next sprint. I've returned. Yeah, so Mara, she's working in STEM, like all of these feminist novels. And she is left this house in her mentor's will. Her mentor has passed away, she left her this house. But then she finds out that only half of the house was left to her. The other half was left to this other guy, Liam. And why does this sound exactly like the premise of Twice Shy by Sarah Hochul, where the two romantic leads are left the same house in the lease and then they have to share it and then they fight over it and eventually fall in love? Like, why is this the exact same premise? I feel like the Sarah Hochul one came out first. So Hazelwood, girl, what are you doing? Like, it's kind of stealing, which I'm not surprised. As much as I like Hazelwood's books, like, she's kind of problematic to me since she did her diabetic character so dirty in Love Theoretically. We all know about that, or you know about it if you've watched my videos. Anyways, that's the premise. So he instantly is like, here's some money, like I'll buy out your half of the house, because he's been living there however long, you know, he's settled, he clearly wants to live there. And she's like, no, I want to live here, like I have financial issues and I need to live here. And he's like, I'll give you money. I'll give you all this money. And she says it's a lot. So that would literally solve her financial issues. But she's like, nope, I'm still gonna live here. And so I'm kind of like, hey, this girl is being dumb. Like, I guess she has a bit of sentimental reasons to want to live there because her mentor left it to her. But I'm still like, you're saying it's because you have financial issues, and he's literally willing to give you like probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, I don't even know. Like, just take it and then rent your own place or buy another place. Like, it's kind of reaching. But anyway, so then it's a roommate story, right? Where they're living together. They are opposites in a lot of ways. She likes the temperature to be warm. He likes it cold. There's all this stuff. And then he also is a lawyer, and he works at this company that is like not environmentally friendly. They're like bad for the environment, and she's like an environmental lawyer. So they also have that where they're kind of like on opposite ends. Now this is a short book, so halfway through, and they've just started to bond a little bit. It is cute. Like, she loves the Bachelor and Bachelorette series, so he was like watching that with her and they bonded. It is cute. It's also funny. Again, Allie's descriptions of the guys always being huge. Like, he's so big. He's like blocking the light in the room, and he's taking up the whole room. Like, it is just ridiculous. And her writing is still just so funny. Like, I think that's the biggest thing with why I like her books, is that I find her writing like really, really hilarious. So it's going well. I'm thinking 4-star vibes, but yeah, I'll probably finish it later tonight. See you in a bit. And so I did the fries with honey mustard, and I like it. Peach, what are you doing? She just loves looking at my shelves. A little check-in from me and Peach. Actually, I need to hide my laundry, so we're gonna move like this. I just finished the book. It was very cute. Just absolutely adorable. And it's kind of nice reading a romance novella. I don't think I've read one before, because it's kind of like reading a romance and not having to deal with the third act breakup, right? Like, we had the build up and them getting together, and then it ended, and that's beautiful. It's like, I don't know, maybe this is for people who used to read fanfic, which I didn't really, but it's like a one shot, I think that's what they were called, right? Where it's just like a cute little moment. Because it's so short, I mean, some of the pacing sometimes felt a little weird. Like, we're focusing so much on just what goes on in the apartment, and we're not getting like as much plot going on, and it just kind of skips to all of their cute moments without anything in between. But also, like, isn't that ideal? Like, isn't that the best parts of romances, are the actual cute scenes together and not the rest of the plot? So I had a good time with it. Let me reflect for a second. Sometimes I turn on the video like as soon as I finish the book. Let me take a minute. I think I'll probably keep my rating at what I said before, of like a 4-star rating. But I really liked Liam. So she keeps having demisexual rep in all of her books, because I think that's her sexuality, and she kind of flipped it and made it be Liam's sexuality rather than Mara's. So that was nice to see. You know, the smutty scene at the end was good. I had a good time, and I do look forward to getting to the next 2 novellas, but everyone says that like the first one you read is the best, and then they get not as good. So I'm gonna stick with my plan of like spacing them out, and whenever I just need a cute little romance story, I'll go back to the other ones. But we did get a little bit of a teaser, because the other 2 characters for those other books are Mara's best friends. So she does talk to them, and we hear a little bit about both of them having some conflict with men, because it's always enemies to lovers, right? We love it. I think we're gonna end it there for the day with reading. So again, I read 2 books today. We'll read the final book tomorrow. See you then. Alright friends, it is the next day. I am in fact wearing the same shirt, but you guys know I didn't leave the house yesterday. Like, it's fine. So I have hit the 50% mark all the way through Carmilla, which did not take long. You know, this was the shortest book on my TBR. Not my favorite, just because it does have that old-fashioned writing style that is never my favorite with classics. So I'm kind of glad that it is a short book, so I won't have to read this for too long because of that. But basically, we're following our main character, Laura, who is this girl. We see her when she's younger, and she has this like kind of like haunted dream of seeing this beautiful woman come into her room and comfort her. She like crawls into bed with her, and then she feels like a bite on her body and then like wakes up and the woman's gone. So that's a little foreboding thing at the beginning, and then it's years later and this girl is found like on the side of the road, like hurt or whatever, and her mom is like, can you watch my daughter while I go do something? So basically Laura's family decides to take care of this girl. Of course I knew, I'm like, it's gonna be the same girl, right, from her vision or dream or whatever that she had. And when she finally sees the girl's face, it is the girl. She's the same age, you know, as she was all those years ago. The girl claims that she also had a vision of her. So they both have had like visions of each other. So they're like, oh, this is destiny that we're like supposed to be friends. So basically that is what's going on, is like these two have developed this really close friendship, and more than friendship. I think Carmilla is known as like a lesbian icon. I know, at least for me, what I know of Carmilla is I used to watch that YouTube series called Carmilla. Comment below if you watched that too. I didn't really know much about the classic story at that time. I just knew it was like a modern day, I guess, retelling of this girl Laura and Carmilla and their like romance. It's fun reading the original now and like comparing, because yeah, they kiss and stuff. Like, it's sapphic. She's seducing her. That's really what's happened so far. Oh, there's also girls in the town that are dying. They're getting ill and then dying. So it's definitely reminding me of Dracula, what was happening in that book. So I'm assuming Carmilla is killing those girls, and maybe she's gonna start hurting Laura. I don't know if like her feelings for Laura are gonna be genuine or not. I feel like they are genuine. I feel like she really does like her, but maybe like the bloodlust will just be too much. I don't know. I don't know if Carmilla is really like a villain like Dracula or not. In that little YouTube series I watched, like, she wasn't really a villain, so I have to see where it goes. I've been having, you know, a lazy day. I did tidy up around the house a little bit, not too intense of cleaning because I'm still just like not feeling the best. I had like a major cough attack this morning, still sick, didn't sleep the greatest, but my tripod just keeps falling every single time. Anyway, I'll check back in for my final update when I have finished this book. All right, I have finished Carmilla, so I'm here to wrap up this vlog. This was probably my least favorite book that I read in this vlog, unfortunately. I feel like, you know, I'm glad I read it because it's such an old story about this iconic vampire Carmilla, who I have seen referenced throughout my life here and there, but I think I would give it like a 3-star. We love to see, you know, a female vampire, but it just was kind of boring. Obviously not really anything new, because I guess this is one of the more original vampire stories, so like we've seen so many other vampire stories at this point, obviously, but it just was a little bit boring. Obviously it had that old writing style, and I just found myself like skimming it a bit. As I said, I'm glad that it was short. I'm glad they kept it short, but yeah, I think I would just give it a 3. I didn't love it, wouldn't overly recommend it unless you're like huge into classics, huge into like vampire lore, but it's pretty similar vibes to Dracula, except that it's a female vampire and we don't get as much into the details because it's so much shorter than Dracula. So I think this has been a pretty successful vlog. Within 3 days, I have finished 5 books, which is excellent. And I have now gotten well ahead on my Goodreads goal, which was the goal of this video. I mean, you guys saw Carmilla is probably my least favorite, and then Escape Room. And then the rest, I all rated 4 stars. Maybe it would be She and Her Cats, and then The Arrangement, and then Under One Roof. And I would recommend all those books that I rated 4 stars. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you will leave me a comment below. I hope you will subscribe if you have not already. Give this video a like as well. Just do all the things. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.